Ho ho ho. It's not Christmas yet. But I said ho ho ho. Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. It is a delightful Thursday. The day with an H and an R. And my name is Douglas. Today I'm gonna be doing the thing that nobody expected me to go and do, which is to go and do art. Surprise, surprise. So welcome to the stream, all of you delicious boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, friends and newcomers alike, and you too, Gerard. I hope you guys are all doing well. And Oni says, oh my dog. And Donald Ducky says, hey Douglas Kin. Hello there Oni and Donald Ducky. Hello there as well. Nikolai who says, hey Doug, how you doing today mate? I'm doing good. And Noni says you wanna get a magenta subwoofer icon before Neku does. Oh my dog. Onier. Well, good luck. That is... Well, that is an objective I can get behind of, I guess, so hooray. Also, the music that is playing now is Transistor soundtrack, a game I never played fully, so it's still in my to-play to-do list. So what I'm doing here is fixing up some last-minute stuff for the comic. Damn it. The thing I wanted to do though is to, well, first of all, to get this thing right. And truly what I want to do is get a pose going on in here, and it has come to my attention. I already knew this, but I never tried to use this before because it's kinda used to be kinda laggy, but nowadays I have a better computer. Is to use the Clip Studio has this 3D model function. It comes with little 3D models where you can, well, do all sorts of crazy shenanigans. Really, you can pose them and do whatever, kind of like that other program. What's it called again? Design Doll. Except that this comes with Clip Studio, so it's kind of more. Also, I don't have to use a third-party program, a third-party program. But anyway, you get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. However, I never used this one before, so I'm kind of having a rough time trying to figure out how those things here work. Because the good part of Design Doll is that I use this so much that I truly know how it works. Now I'm trying to figure out this one. But anyway. And then he says, good, you did loot art. And Bones says, you are here. Hello there, Bones. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? In this delightful, delicious Tours Day. The day of the tours. So this is the cover. We're still working on that, I am afraid. If there's one thing that I definitely am not good at, is working fast. When I don't want to. But there we go, we have the base sketch for the cover already in place. All I'm trying to get going now is to get this girl's here hand, and I don't know how to draw this pose precisely, so I decided why not use this little posing posing thingy shenanigans. But it's kind of more. It might not prove to be as much of a time saver as I thought it might have been. Who knows though? Could be, perhaps. And other than that, how are you guys doing? All of you delicious boys and girls. Or just boys. Or just girls. What's up with you all? Whoa. Maybe it'll be easier too if I how do I move? Okay, there we go. That's how I move this around. This hand needs to be more like this. More, so it won't go any more than that. Oh shucks. Okay, now it goes. Weirdly enough. Oh well. And Nikolai says, you do art, Oni. Is there a platform where you post your art? Yes, Oni well, I don't know anymore where you post your art, Oni. I guess you do at your Furfinity, right? Or have you gone elsewhere? Oh, okay, this is gonna change everything. And Dono says, doing alright. What software is that, Douglas? It's Clip Studio. Surprise, surprise, Clip Studio has a lot of hidden functions, kinda like Photoshop. Little do you know, Clip Studio can do a lot of things. Clip Studio has it doesn't tell you straight up, but Clip Studio has this sort of these 3D models that already comes with it and that you can pose around. And if I am not mistaken, these come by default in the regular version of the program. You don't need the fancy pro version. This comes in the cheaper version. So you don't need Clip Studio Pro to get use of these 3D functions. I think. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think you don't. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how this goes. And I mean, just yesterday I was talking about all the things you can do to make your job of illustrating things faster and easier. And if the option is there, then you should take it. And what matters in the end is if you can do the thing quickly rather than do it. There's no point in being 100% original if you're gonna take forever to do it. Well, this thumb here, in fact, it doesn't 100% needs to be there. I guess it can go elsewhere. I don't understand this little how this works. Let's try and figure this one out. Well, anyway. I guess I didn't truly need all of this. I just needed a big basis for the hand to know what I would do. And Donald Duck says, but you got this EX version or the Pro, which is more packed. You can check if you tell me how. I have the EX version, which is the more packed version. The Pro is the normal one, but the EX version is only useful it's only worth it if you're looking into doing animations or printing your comic. If you're not gonna be doing any of those, or at least printing your comic through Clip Studio, if you're not gonna be doing either of those, then it doesn't really matter. Either way it goes. So there's more options down here, like lots and lots and lots of options that we can do with this body, with this 3D model here. If I'm not mistaken, there is even an option to like kind of create a drawing out of this already. I don't know how that works though, but if we took perhaps a few days, we could learn out how that goes. But there you go. If you have Clip Studio, this is another function that it has that you can and definitely should use in doing things. And in here there's another window with options and things. I'm just messing around with it to see what's up, but I don't think there's much to it. Anyway, this is all I needed. I need a pose of this little doll thing, and I'm gonna clone this layer. I'm gonna create a copy of it. See if I figure out how. Duplicate layer. There we go. Now I can get this layer and rasterize this layer, so it becomes a picture instead of becoming an actually editable 3D model. Like, this is the 3D model that I can rotate around and edit and stuff. It's in a separate layer. This layer is just the picture itself. I can move it around, I can paint over it, and I can use the transform to screw it up in major ways. But anyway. And now what I'm gonna do is copy this to this thing here. Place it here-ish, and adjust the size a little bit. And that I have the reference I was looking for. I can hide this, this. I can also hide too. This is all I needed and wanted. A good reference for the hands. And Neku says, you know, I had to do it to them. What are you talking about, Neku? Also, welcome to the stream. And yeah, I forgot to ask, how are you guys doing today in this delightful Thursday? Over here, the climate, the weather is still hot, like unbearably hot, but today, instead of, you know, closing the windows to ensure that the stream is quiet and is quieter and the audio quality is better, I said fuck it, it's too hot for that, so the windows are open, and that's probably why you're hearing the background noise more than normally. Unless you aren't, then that's a miracle, but you probably are. And Neku, you said that pose is like a meme. Which meme? I wouldn't know which meme that is. I know, like I always say, I don't know memes. Which meme is that? would that be, Neku? And also, welcome to the stream. And don't know, you say, isn't soon anything a meme rather? Yes, it would be, I mean, eventually, if you keep calling things memes. But anyway, how are you doing, Bones and Nikolai? And you, Chuoni, and you don't know. How were your guys' days thus far? With this incredible week that we have been having. It's Tuesday already, so that means we only have one more day before it's Friday. And you know that Friday is the day when I panic, because Friday is normally, theoretically, the day in which I upload a new comic page all over the place. But I haven't done this week's comic page yet. I haven't even begun working on it. I mean, that's a lie, I have. But I only have the planning, the layout I need to get the actual page going on. But this week's page is gonna be slightly easier to do for one very interesting reason. Instead of being my normal page, which I go and do, and the page itself is you know, lots of character poses and whatnot. This week's page, which is tomorrow's page, is a vehicle. So there's gonna be a very simple background and the vehicle going about its business for 3 panels, and then the last panel is the only one that shows the character. So I have very little to illustrate. I mean, I have to illustrate this vehicle in several angles and whatnot. But what I think I'm gonna try and do is 3D model a kind of a framework, and like get a 3D model of a box, kind of throw a little flourishes here and there, and use that as a basis to create a more interesting vehicle, and slap that into the comic book page, and then finish it up there in whatever size and amount of details it needs, instead of, you know, going and trying to figure out and use perspectives to get the vehicle going on. I can simply say, you know what, just 3D model the vehicle, throw it there and trace it. That's much faster and much easier, and I'll make sure that I'll get the vehicle proportions and size and everything else right in all 3 frames, 3 panels, since I'm going to be using the same vehicle. It would make sense if there's some sort of continuity going on. And a good kind of continuity. True. So now I have it. What was this other layer? It was nothing. So this is gonna be the comic book cover. We're gonna have a portrait of the Imperial family going on here. But then in the back we're gonna have these sci-fi-esque characters, these human characters going on. And then everyone is gonna be like, ooh, what's going on? I don't know. I'm gonna be like, I'll never tell. Then I have to figure out for yourself by reading it. And then people are gonna be like, oh no, I have to read it because now I'm so intrigued. And then I'll get a lot of new readers to come and check my comic. And also now I went around and fixed it. Now they have feet going on. Before it was just just the bodies, now they have feet. That's good. And also, 1 of 4. Hello, welcome to the stream, and thank you so very much for that delicious host. How are you doing today? And Oni, you said touch your neck, you see. What? A window whistle. No, there's no window whistling, I'm afraid. And Echo says that neck, you see, is for special occasions. And Bone says, I'm shipped with Doug today, so you cannot lay claim to neck, you see. And why would you do that, window? Would you do that to window? Do what to the window, Oni? Neku said sent on TG how it is. How what is? Oh, the pose of the meme. Let me check it out. Your cool ass meme poses. Oh. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Well, but that's pretty much just a picture of a person. That's the hell, Neka. And then it says, by the way, Doug, link you the playlist to that soundtrack. It's a Transistor soundtrack. Nothing special about it, but I'll link it anyway. And Neku says, how can be shipped with Doug? This is new. You can't, that's the weird part. And Donald says, doing alright, just eating soft food so far. Still in pain and swelling, but getting better. Oh boy. How does... Man, for how long do you have to keep eating soft food? Because that sucks. And then you're starting to like the music now. There's an alternative version to the soundtrack where the songs, instead of being sung, there's the songs. There's some that are just instrumental and some that are vocals. There's a version of the soundtrack in which the vocals music are instrumental and the instrumentals music has hummings going on, so it's hummed music, and it's delicious. And Bone says Donecombs. What? That's like a triple ship. And Nikolai says, I'm doing good, thanks for asking, Doug. Well, you're welcome. Glad you know you're doing better. And Sam says, greetings Mr. Douglas and everyone, how do you all do? I do good. How about you, Sam? And Nikolai says, hey, you like supporting your fellow furs. Ah, that's awesome. And then it says, why would you boys follow someone so garbled like you? Because we want you to stop being garbled. Because, you know, when you get, like, your promised 50,000 followers, you're gonna stop being a garble boy and you're gonna be a famous boy. And then you're gonna have some self-respect finally. And then we will all be happy for you. And Sam, you're gonna be quiet for a while, you busy. Bleh. Sure thing. And Bone says, because you're hot garble, you're U''RE Bones. And then he says, Bones, Doug, and Donald is more followable. I don't know about that. And 1 of 4, you are waiting for your T to TFI. TFI, is that a new application for listening to music or something? I wouldn't know. And also, hello there, VPV. Hello, Wolf Morning or Wolf Afternoon, and welcome to the stream. How's it going with you? And Neku says, always a crime, but I won't save you. The music. Aw. And Donald says, maybe under a 1 week, then second week hopefully is back to full level. Aw, that's good. At least it was like just one thief too. If it was more thief, I guess it would have been more time, or who knows. Thief is weird. It's like you need thief to eat food and pretty much live and do things, you know. And it's kind of a bone structure, but it's also connected to lots of nerves. So if anything happens to your teeth, you're going through incredible amounts of pain. And if you lose your teeth, you're pretty much effed. Or you would have been if it were not for dentistry. Because if you lost your teeth in the past, you would not be able to chew food, so survival would have been much harder. Dog damn. And Neko says instrumental vocals and hummed. I want to force us back with a new for you black currant tea and some cookies. Oh, cookies are good. I like cookies. And Neko said because red is mute. I want to force says we found out a brand of cookies here. Singuala. Have a lot of vegan cookies, so I brought 4 and you're trying them all. Oh, that's nice. Every time I try new things, I get kinda anxious. And one of four says T5, let the tea become tea instead of water and some bag. Yeah, that's a verb I can see they adding to the dictionaries. And Vappy V says, thank you guys, you're alright, you have a cold but you're getting better, haha. Oh, join the club, I also have a cold. I have all the diseases right now. I have a cold but I'm also having a heat stroke. Or rather, I'm recovering from a cold. And having and low-key dying from a heat stroke. So go figure how you can be cold and hot at the same time. But Doug, being cold and hot is simple. All you gotta do is be an incredibly beautiful person who has a very mean personality. Then you're gonna be cold but also hot. And all at the same time. Which I will say, oh my dog, you're super right, my little explanatory friend. You are so right. You are so right, in fact, that you have been going in circles this whole time. You should try some left every once in a while. And one at first says, okay, that human was pretty hot, to be honest. Ah, thank you. Those humans. It's supposed to be a human man and a human girl. Or woman. With no hair though. Because that's a new style they're going in for. I thought about earrings, but I don't know if it would kinda... If throwing earrings would be kinda nailing it a little bit too much or not. Or not nailing, but trying to drive the point home. Like, oh, she's a girl. You don't need to add accessories like rings and such. Or huge boobs to make it feel like she's a girl. You can't do that by other means, such as shading. Which I will once we start coloring. Which is the thing we're gonna be doing now. Incidentally. And Vappy V says, I love your art style. Why, thank you. Feel free to check all my art by going to my site, which is douglas-kim.com. I'm gonna be updating that site a little bit more, with more content soon. Oh no. Well, at least we got a windy day today. And And one of four says, I don't try new things as often, but you are trying. Oh, that's good. Trying new things is how you discover fetishes. So that's a thing. And Neku says, I have a cold. How can you have a cold in this heat? Wait, are you on your heat? Are you on heat? My. No, Neku, I'm recovering from a cold, but because a few days ago I got a cold. When it wasn't incredibly hot. Maybe it is, in fact, the drastic temperature changes that made me catch this cold. But now that it isn't as hot, as cold anymore, I am still with kind of sniffly and still not 100%. But I'm also having a heat stroke. Anyway, you get the point. One of four says, can you keep the bearded human as a pet for pet play? No, you cannot. One of four. We do not allow those things in. We don't. So no, you cannot. And Sam says, Neku, don't say it like that. He lives in the south. It might be hot, but the weather makes people cold. That has nothing to do with anything, Sam. The PV says, oh, feel better and drink a lot of water. I am. Or at least I would drink more water if... I would drink more water if the water wasn't disgustingly hot. Because normally I could simply open the tap water, or rather get some tap water and drink it, but now I have to get this tap water and put it in the freezer for like a couple of hours before it's nearly drinkable. It sucks. And Sam, you suffer from the heat over there so much. And one of four says earrings would be a bit much, yes, especially for servants as these. What? He's not a servant. But you would see it on that bearded face. Oh my dog. And Happy V says trying new fetishes is how you discover things. Yeah. And Bones, you're right. Someone, i.e. Oni, should go and quote that. But then again, you can't dispute that. That is a truthful statement. Okay, so now how do I do this? What I'm gonna do here, because I'm very anxious boy, is I'm gonna have a copy of these things here, resize them, so it fills the frame a little bit better. And I guess I'm gonna start coloring this. Why not? Let's create an art layer. Let's get those things, throw it into the art layer. I forgot how to color things. Damn. So technically I color things by having a line art, but as you can see, probably, I didn't have a line art going on for this one. And I don't want to spend time doing a line art either, so I'm gonna try to wing it. Let's see how long it'll take before I realize that I have majorly fucked everything up and have to go and do a line art as a matter of fact. Hopefully I won't have to, but seldomly I'm lucky enough to not have to go back and do things right, because I decided to be stubborn and go through a path that sounded like it was a good idea but wasn't really, and then in the end I figured the error of my ways a little bit too late. If anything goes down, I mean, if anything goes wrong, at least I'll have the colors reference saved, so that is somewhat useful. And also, hello there Tiger, welcome to the stream. And Thank you so very much for your kind words. How are you doing today? In this delightful day of the churros. What is a churros, by the way? You guys keep saying that it's churros day, but what is a churros? I have absolutely no idea. I don't even know what a mon or a twist or a weddings is, but I keep saying that it's the days of those things. And I have been confused for a long time. I wish explanations had been given, but they haven't. And it drives me mad. And one of us says, I thought you were saying they were like secret agents. They are-ish. Not necessarily, they are not per se secret agents. I just wanted a secret agent like pose, like someone that stands in the back with their arms crossed and kind of like in a mysteriously menacing way, you know? But not necessarily that they themselves are secret agents. I just wanted a pose like that. And little do we know, someone has come down with answers. Or things. Coley Classic says humans. Ah. Antaga says they are aliens, obviously. Yes. Alien humans. Wouldn't that be a plot twist if this whole time it turned out that the humans are the aliens? My dog. Also, what I'm doing right now here is going back and fixing up some things, because in my attempt to make a sketch, I left things a little bit too sketchy, whereas some things are not as sketchy. By sketchy, I mean this girl here has very crisp and clean line art going on, so I could theoretically use this as a line art, but other things such as Big Patriarch Boyle has very rough lines going on. That is a pun, by the way, a canine pun. He has a rough line art going on, so I have to go and kind of clean it up a little bit, make sure that the lines are not too thick and that I don't have too much scribbles going on. Things need to be kind of defined instead of just loose here and there. And what else have you guys been saying? Vappy V says, be right back, shooting Vappy V. And Tiger says, hey, one of Force's Tuesdays come from Thursdays, the Norse god of thunder. Moonday is the day of the moon, Sunday is the day of the sun. And Coley Classic says more like Sin Day, the day of the sin. And one of us says, you think actually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays are also Norse god days, gods, quote unquote, gods' days. Oni says, Nign. What's up, Oni? And Nicholas says, yes, they are one of four. I would know since you're pagan. Also, the cookies are one approved, are they though? Don't they? What do they taste like? What are they? What are their flavors again? You said, but I completely forgot. Which is not to say that I don't care enough to not have it committed to memory. It's just that I didn't pay a whole lot of attention as you were saying those things, so I didn't get it committed to memory. But not for the same reasons I explained, but for different reasons that don't make me sound as bad. What are they flavored again? I don't know. But if I'm not mistaken, there's this a acquaintance of mine. If I'm not mistaken, he's pagan too, and maybe he would know the why days are called the way they are. Could have asked him, but since I didn't know that had anything to do with being pagan names or whatever, or having a pagan origin, I didn't know to ask it of him. But now that I do, I won't, because you guys can tell me instead. So I don't have to turn that acquaintance into a beautiful friendship. You know, there's merit to being just acquaintances with people. In case they get incriminated in some sort of criminal shenanigans and dealings, you're not an accomplice, or you can't even say that you are a suspect because you're close to them. So if they commit crimes, you can just act surprised when you hear about it, like 3 months after it happened. Like, oh my dog, has it happened really? I thought he was such a good boy. Would have known he would have gone and kidnapped the president's children and took them into foreign countries, injected them with mind-controlling viruses in a very remote Spanish village that kind of connects into a castle that also connects into an island. It's out of control, the things that they would go and do. So it's best to remain acquaintances rather than to be close friends when they go out and break their little world domination plans. If they ever do that, there's also always a chance that they will see the error of their ways and won't. But there's always a chance that they won't see the error of their ways and will start up their plans for world domination through the power of Zambos. Which in true is the power of mind control. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. You guys are smart boys and girls. But if you didn't understand anything of what I just said, it's not because they're not smart boys and girls, it's because I'm a confusing boy who says confusing things. Man, eyes are so fickle though. When you do more or less realistic eyes, you have to be super duper extra careful with where you position, with the size of the eye itself and where you position the pupil, because you can make these characters look extremely goofy very quickly and easily, and you don't want that to happen. And then it says, Bork, you got Snowflake. Yes, because you helped the direct relief by cheering with the hashtag charity. Hashtag? I guess? Who knows? Anyway, Coley Classic says snow, 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 snow. One of the most liked Final Fantasy characters, I guess. 104 says Saturday, I think, comes from an old word for cleaning, since people clean themselves on Saturdays. And you didn't say any but blueberry, raspberry, rhubarb, and the fourth is mango. Ooh, I like mango. The other things, I don't know what they are, so I wouldn't know if they taste good or not. And VAPV says, back, and welcome back. How you doing? How was your little vacation of us? And Daga says, ooh, tasty. Now that I think about it, mango cookies, that doesn't sound right. But sure. And Oni says, you're poor garble, you sing artist garble. It isn't, Oni. I want for you threw in a link. Twinnings of London, black currant tea, and the cookies. Oh, so there's a cookie with a little jelly on the middle. Okay, that makes more sense, because I was thinking, how in the world are they gonna make a mango flavored something in a cookie if cookies are incredibly dry? It doesn't work. But what do I know? You showed me. It does work. And Oni, you said that everything you draw is garble. Oni, don't say such things. You draw amazing, incredible things, and if you keep saying that you're garble, I will be forced to agree with you, and then you will be garble for real. Is that what you want? To be real garble? Because if you keep saying it will become true. So don't. Just don't. Okay, now I get colors. I don't have colors for these characters though, so I'll have to look back into my old drawings. And Neku says no, Oni, it's not garble, it's pretty. And Oni said, pretty garble, you can feel Bones smiling. And one of us says, wait, what is Doug talking about? Mind control, you're confused now. I'm talking about the plot of Resident Evil 4. I was talking about the plot of Resident Evil 4. One of us says, interdictor. You don't have any of those berries, etc. I don't know. If we don't have these berries, or if we don't have them with the same names, there's a huge possibility that these berries they do exist here, but they have vastly different names. Who knows even? I know I don't know. Because what do I know? I know nothing. I draw comics for a living. I don't understand things. So, because I was very smart in my youth, I decided to go and draw things in black and white, so now I don't have a color reference for these boyos here. And you know what that means? I'm gonna have to go and improvise. Isn't it lovely improvising and coming up with things on the fly? Boyo. Everyone loves when I do that. So this is a drawing I had done a while ago. Works as one reference. Now I need a few more. This here is another reference that I can use. Why don't I have a better one? Nope. I do not. A better one. Where is it? There we go. As for the other characters though, no, this is not what I'm looking for. Let me check here. Oh, okay, this is a good one. A previous comic book page that I made of another comic that I never ever did. And Bones says I did, you're sorry. Don't be sorry, Bones. One of us says Oni is great artist, and Tiger says yeah, you make a jam jelly for the cookies, make them tasty. Yes, for whatever reason I hadn't thought of that. And Vappy V says you just had to go take some medicine. Oh, I should do that too eventually. And Tiger says, well yeah, Oni is a great artist. I know, right? He's the best artist there is. Everyone wishes they could be like Oni. I wish I could be like Oni. I wish Oni would stop ignoring me and wouldn't notice me. Because Oni is my senpai. But he doesn't notice me. Ever. No matter how much I try. And Donald says Oni for you is not garbage, it's more of a jewel. And Bone says, oh, Oni is okay. And one of us says someone called, Samsung called even, you think? Yes. But that has nothing to do with me. So we don't talk about that. And this is this character here in the beak. Is this? Yes, this layer is in the right place. And now that I think about the way I'm gonna be coloring, I guess it would be best if I kind of blocked it all out first before going in and entering colors. But Doug, what does blocking means? It means going by hand and painting everything. Kind of like making an outline of everything and then painting the inside. And why would I go and do that? You may ask yourself, and I would tell you, my little inquisitive friends, I will do that because... oh shit. I will do that because later on that will help me so very much with coloring. And what else are you guys saying? I mean, Echo, you said that dog, he looks hot. You like that dog. We all do like that dog. And one of us says, hard agreed. And OMG look like you, a chipmunk wolf. What? What? What it would be a chipmunk wolf? I don't know. And you tried to pixel your persona and it looked like a chipmunk. Did it really? Now I wanna see that. Like the internet keeps telling me, pics or it did not happen. Unless you did like a scrub artist would do and you drew it and then you deleted it. Because that's what a scrub artist would do. Artist, what I mean to say. So, like I said, what I did is do a note. I selected the entire outline, blocked it all, and now I also... oh shit, I forgot this thing here. And I made... I locked the opacity in this layer completely and totally. That's so... now when I'm coloring, I can make sure that I don't go like... I don't color on the outside again. It stops me from going outside. But with that, coloring becomes much easier, faster, and doggone right enjoyable. That's what we need. More enjoyment in our lives. So what I'm gonna be doing here, I didn't straight up say this, but I guess I gotta go and explain, is I'm gonna be coloring this, then I'm gonna be shading this like I normally do, but then because this is kinda sketchy, I'll be trying to do some overpainting. That's a thing I never do. If we have enough time today, I'll be doing that. Overpainting is pretty much after the thing is shaded, I create another layer and go painting on top of it. So it has the... Whoa, these poles are very sketchy. So it has the potential to look incredibly good. Or not, who knows. And then it says blep, you're okay. You're okay. And one of course says the one you're coloring right now. Oh, the... Ah, I see, the young boy. Young boy, wolf boy, man, thing. What are you guys talking about anyway? I'm slightly confused. So now I have the family patriarch guy. It needs colors too. Everyone needs color in this. Boy, yo. You know what I really want to do? That I never have ever done? But I really wanted to do? Have you guys ever heard of a thing called butt sex? Not really, I mean, have you ever heard of a thing called NaNoWriMo? That is a thing I've always wanted to do, but I cannot. Or rather, I could if I tried incredibly hard. NaNoWriMo is a challenge that writers or people have a shit ton of determination or free time in their hands. They do. NaNoWriMo is pretty much every year in November you task yourself with writing an entire 50,000 pages novel, and it's crazy. Like, that's a lot of words to write in a single month. And the idea is that you have to write every single day at least 1,500 words, if I'm not mistaken. 15 or 1,600 words per day, every day, through the entire month. That's so, at the end of the month, you reach the quota of... having written a 50,000 words book. And the cool dope thing about that is that, you know, I've always wanted to write more and write in itself, but writing is kinda doesn't fit me too much because I'm more of a visual kind of guy. But I have wanted to do that, and the NaNoWriMo sounds like a perfect excuse to go and give it a try. But tackling a written book is so much different from tackling a comic. Or maybe it wouldn't be, it would be more or less the same thing, especially because I'm not doing like a page a day of a comic. I'm doing a page a week. Who knows even? Who knows? But nonetheless, that's the thing I want to do. One of these days when I decide to have a lot of determination and free time in my hands, then I'll be writing a book and you guys will be reading it. And one of course says butt sex, and Oni says surprise butt sex. And Vappy V says you have been trying more painting type methods lately. True, it's difficult, but you like how it turns out. I do like it, the way it turns out. And Coley Classics said, did somebody say butt sex? Yes, me, Oni, and 104, and you too now. And wow, I guess you're right, 104. It kind of does looks like a A chipmunkish boil. Looks cute though, I like it. Despite its chipmunkness. Noni says, get your shit together, guys. It's butt sex. No, it's Thursday. You got it wrong. And VapV says, wow, that's a lot of words. Yes, it is. Like, the NaNoWriMo people are crazy. Or rather, they are a brave bunch. Or I don't even know. Maybe they are sadistics. Who knows? But, yeah, not everyone who does gets the whole I'm gonna take on these years NaNoWriMo. Not everyone gets to write those 50,000 word novels. A lot of people kind of start it up and after a week or two they kind of stop. Normally within the first week they kind of stop, and some other people are like, nah, I don't have a huge idea anyway, so I'm gonna make this a shorter book. So they stop, or rather end their books at like 30,000 words. It's not the 50,000 you were tasked with writing, but it's still an achievement. You wrote an entire novel by yourself, so that should get some merit. But who knows? I don't know the rules for NaNoWriMo. Maybe they consider if you say, nah, 30,000 is good. It's kind of just a little bit above half, but it's still a book, so that goes. And maybe some NaNoWriMo purists are like, no, it's either 50,000 or more, no less. You scrub. But in researching more about that, I also learned a lot of things, such as what makes a novel a novel, a novella, or a short story. A short story apparently is anything that is up to 10,000 words, anything between 10-ish thousand words and 25-30,000 words is a novella, and anything above 40,000 is a novel, but normally 50,000. So words that fall outside of this category, such as between 10,000 and 15,000 words, they don't know if it's like it's a short story or it's a long short story or it's a very short novella. What the hell is that? So people just say, fuck it, it's a book. And one of four says, OMG, that snowflake is so cute. And Bone says, lewd boys. We're not lewd boys, we're just boys. And boys are lewd by default. You're lewd, Chew. What the hell you're talking about? Coley Classic says, a Doug has given the permission to lewd by saying those two words. Have I? Is that how this works now? And Bone says, you are the cutest snowflake. And one of four says, Douglas thinks you look like a chipmunk, but yeah, try making it chubby since you are chubby, I guess. I don't think that's the problem. The problem, I think, is that the muzzle is a touch too small and the eyes might be a little bit too big. But then again, there is not a whole lot of ways that you can expand upon the design without changing the whole thing altogether. But yeah, if you had made smaller eyes, perhaps, and no longer and a bigger muzzle, as in the mouth part, be wider, maybe it would have felt more like a wolf muzzle. And thusly, it would have felt less chipmunk-ish. And Coley Classic says, well, do you? And yes, one of four, clone yourself and do your clone. By do, I mean have butt sex. or any other kind of sex you're up to having. There's many types of sex that you can go and have. Oh. See, this is bad when you have holes like that in your thing. Holes are not good. And this vest needs to be any other color that is not. It needs to be reddish. And then I'm gonna give you a light shirt. It's, by the way, this is tricky, you guys. Don't get confused. This looks like white because every other color around is like very, well, not very dark, but there are darker colors on this one. But this is not white. This is actually gray, grayish yellow. So don't get tricked. That's how you get swindled out of your money, by getting tricked. So don't go and do that. It's gonna be harmful for your finances. And only you sent in a YouTube link. What the heck is that? Dawn of the first day, 72 hours remain. Oh my dog. You're so dog damn right. It's so close to your birthday now. Little do you know, guys, in about a few something days, Oni is gonna be an old ass boy. So old, in fact. That we're gonna say, Oni, you're an old boy. And actually you said that you do want to have sex, and 104 says you like sex, one sex please. And Oni says scientists have confirmed that cloning yourself and having sex with it is indeed masturbation. Really? I don't know about that, Oni. Not 100% sure of that little discovery of yours. Oh, flipping out! I don't have colors for this boil here. Now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna close this one and open the one that is more on this one too. Thank you. But I don't need you anymore. I'm gonna close those and open the actual reference that I have. Because I'm a smart boy. I compiled concept arts and references through my years. Through my youth. Oh, there we have it. This color might be a little too saturated though, which I do not approve of. Get your funky ass saturation out of here. We need mute colors. By mute colors I mean pastel colors. That's what I meant. Wait, what? No, wait. I'm doing it wrong. Okay, now I'm doing it right. Now I also have to cross-reference the other thing. See, that is why you do character sheets. Reference sheets for characters, because... Dug them. Cross-referencing different pictures that you have going on at different points in life, that's not the way to do this. That is a very precarious way to make to get things going on. Okay, so the dog damn it. Nah, fuck it. Goddamn image browser. Why don't you work like you oughta work? So this boy here, he has sort of a kind of like a raccoon mask. It goes from it does sort of a that for no particular reason. He just does. But you know what? That also helps you identify who the fuck is him in this comic full of a different cast of canines. When you have like 30 dogs going on, you need to know which dog is which, and that's how you know which dog is which, by looking at their different patterns and whatnot, and hairstyles. That those help too. And Anafion says on the rocks. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. But also, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today, Anafion? And also, I need this color here. Eye color. Collie Classic said that you would like 1/6 to go. To go? Oh my dog. Do you mean that you want to get roadhead? Those are dangerous. And irresponsible. I mean, of course, at the moment you're not going to be thinking of like, wow, how dangerous and irresponsible it is to be getting roadhead, but it is very irresponsible. So don't do that. You can be putting people's lives at risk. Unless you're an amazing driver, but even then, it's best not to risk it. And Bone says I would also like 1/6 please, vanilla flavor. And VapV says you were tricked. Oh no, what happened? And Anya says you're turning daddy. And Coley says, hey Gramps. And VapV says, happy early birthday. I'm sure you aren't that old. Of course he is. And Anya says, you're not gonna be old and extra thick. And VapV says, thick boy, best boy. Old boy, only boy. Is boy, good boy. And not boy at all. Boy, garble, boy. I hope you know where I was going on with that, because if you didn't, I just spent a long time trying to come up with this sentence for naught. So please tell me you guys got it. And 104 says, what is roadhead? Yes, what VamPV said, when a person gets a blowjob while they drive. Very dangerous and irresponsible. And also, it cannot at all be comfortable. If anyone comes out and say, nah, getting roadhead is comfortable, they're full of bullshit. It cannot be comfortable. I mean, it could be comfortable if you have a huge car and a lot of space to go on, and you don't wear a belt. Or rather, the person who's giving you roadhead doesn't wear a belt. But that just makes it extra dangerous. So yeah, don't. Just don't. And Oni says I'ma give a blowjob for your birthday. Why would you do such a thing, Oni? Why give? If you could charge for them and get money instead. Use your entrepreneur mind next time, Oni. Fuck them, man. See, this is what I was talking the other day about holes in the drawing. Don't want to have holes because it makes coloring harder and more annoying. Because someone has got to go and cover those holes. And that one is gonna be either the person who is gonna color the drawings that you have done or yourself in the future. Unless past you is an asshole, then yeah, sure. But if you want to make things easier for future you, then fill in those holes when you're drawing. It makes life easier. And more productive. And also makes working in or with a team much more pleasant for everyone involved. Except for people who are not part of the team, because they will be feeling like they have been left out and they're like, oh my man, I wish I could be having fun with a team of people, but instead I'm just here looking at them from the outside and wishing I was in that delicious teamwork that is going on in there. God damn it. And then they're gonna be depressed and it's gonna be all of your fault. Or not. It could also be their parents' fault who never taught them how to do teamwork and instead didn't correct them when they started having thoughts about their friends going and achieving things for themselves. They should have said that no, being envious of others is not good, don't do that. But instead no, they said nah, go play your video games. And thus a person never learned how to be a man or a girl in today's world, or rather the world of a few years ago. Because the world of nowadays is crazy. And the world of tomorrow is gonna be even crazier if you stick around long enough. You're gonna see how crazy it's gonna be. But anyway, I need now a color for the pole pads. But one thing I learned, not an incredibly, you know, right thing to do, as in it's fail-proof, is to color pole pads with the same color as the claws, because nobody's gonna notice, and you're gonna save yourself some time with, you know, getting different colors, and save some space in your computer by having a smaller file because it's using a narrower array of colors. But you do you. And VapV says, oh sorry, thick girl, best girl. What? And 104 says, what about someone that is driving and jerking off the passenger? Well, I mean, of course, in those first world countries where you guys live, doing that is perfectly normal. Over here, we drive cars with gearboxes. I mean, stick shift. How do you call it? I mean, manual transmission cars. So, you know, you're not gonna be able to do the very steady hand job for long. Eventually, you're gonna have to switch gears, and depending on what kind of traffic you are in, you're gonna be doing a lot of that. So no, that doesn't work either. Not over here, at least. And besides, that would make your companion incredibly awful. Like, dog damn. You are driving them around and you're also giving them things? Like, talk them. What are they gonna be doing for you? And now it says, I don't care if you're driving, sleeping, walking, or whatever you're... wherever you're going to get one, except Doug, he's an exception. And VapPV says, it's still dangerous, practice safe driving and safe sex, ladies and gents. Yes. Don't mix those two things. They're incredibly dangerous. When done together, of course. When done separately, they're just slightly dangerous. So there's that. Also, what the hell is going on? Huh. How weird. For a moment there, I got a lighter color. How quaint. Anyway, wait. Yeah, I got all my colors mixed up. That sucks. And Onya says he doesn't need your signal, like doing lap drivers true. Lap driver, by the way, is when you're giving someone an anal sex while driving on the driver's lap. My dog, Oni, that's not even... I mean, if you're gonna be doing that, I mean, that doesn't sound like something that happens, you know, because it happens. It sounds like something that happens because you're like, I need to get to this place real fast, and I also need desperately to get sex. It's not like, it doesn't feel like something that kind of just happens. It feels like something that would only happen if there were two emergencies happening at the same time. Which I hope isn't the case. So, in the past I had this Empress lady with a different, with a more darker color scheme, but now she's gonna be in the cover. Maybe she needs a different color scheme going on. A slightly more brighter color scheme, so that's what I'm gonna try and achieve with this drawing, which is a thing I noticed. And Afian said that sounds deep, and Monophore says, oh my. And Tiger says, sounds like a porn video setting. Yeah, precisely. It's not even like an emergency. Like, whoa. We need to shoot a porn video, but we also need to get to this place. It's kind of like a premise for a movie about these people that are trying to expose their amateur sex video on a porn convention. By the way, those are real porn conventions, and they don't have time. They did not have time to shoot it because they just found out about the porn convention or something. So they're like, wow, shit, we need to go to the convention, but we also need to shoot the movie itself. So how are we gonna do it? And then Oni shows up and say, well, how about we go over there and do a lap driver? That's the only occasion in which that could work. Also, my dog, her eyes are too dark. As in, it's hard to see her eyes. And I would not like that to be a thing. And Afian says, get sex now, only 99.99, postal service not included. And one of us says, Douglas has been to porn conventions. No, not at all. It's there's this comic that I read, Sex Criminals, or I have read. I haven't read it in a while because I haven't bought it in a while. But anyway, Sex Criminals is a delightful comic that I have read, have been reading, and it's what else was going on with it? It's all the way to chapter, issue 15-ish, 15 issue 10 or something. The characters, they come around this ex porn star, and she's like, no, I'm not I don't do sex stuff anymore. Now I'm a college teacher. And she goes and do college teacher things, and then they're like, no, but we need someone with sexual expertise. And then she's like, well, then I guess for the sake of the plot, I'm gonna go back into the life of I will go back into the life of being a porn star. And then she goes back to the life of a porn star. But because she's been out of the business for so long, she goes through a porn convention to understand what the heck is people talking about. And I thought, nah, that can't be true. But then, one of our friendly streamer friends, they said that in the past they used to work with that by going to porn conventions and doing something there that is work related. And then also I heard statements of other people who have also been to those. And I'm like, wow. Who knew? Those are actual real things. And Anya says, I like making people feel good. Your friend, Mr. Bernard, tells you why you want nut. Because you just want to make people feel good. Because screw your emotions. Ebon says emotions are important, Oni. You need targets. You like to target emotions and shoot them with love. And Anafion says male porn stars use shalocaine. Keeps them hard. Does it? I thought that was some sort of an aesthetic. But anyway. I think I was talking about something that was slightly important, but we got sidetracked by the roadhead having ways of theoretical people in theoretical circumstances. But anyway, whatever it is that I was talking about before, I completely forgot what it was, and now everyone has missed an opportunity to learn more about the exciting whatever that it was. Or not, maybe I will remember it again. I just don't remember if it has anything to do with something that I read in the comments a little while ago, or if it has something to do with the comic itself. Oh well, in any case, I'm gonna... Here in this page she has this kinda... this texture going on in her dress. I'm gonna have that going on in here as well. She's gonna have a texture in this thing here to make it kinda all really beautiful. And also in his vest, too. It would look dope with one of those. Nose color, I need those. That. And also, hello and welcome to the stream, Rego. How are you doing today? Out of all the days you could have been doing other things, but today is the day that we are here. And how are you doing in this very special day? It's a special day because I have said so. Not for any other motive, truly. I mean, what other reason would anyone would have to think that today is a special day? It's not a special day, that's what I mean to say. It's a normal ass day. and nothing special is gonna be happening today. To anyone in anywhere. Except for those people who get to show up in these statistics. Who knows? And VapV says you're not a sexual person at all, but that sounds like a wild ride. It does. And one of us says, woo, we missed the bullet there. What bullet? Me talking about other things? But anyway, how you're doing, Rego? And one of us says, one day without learning is a chill day. What? And then it says you went to sex conventions. You went? Which one is it, Oni? You went to a sex convention. It was let down hard. And Neko says, Rego, ban, no. What? And VapV says it's a special day because it's a new day. No, it's not a new day. Little do you know, but the Australians have been experimenting this day much before we have been here in the West. They are already experimenting tomorrow, those Australians. They're like, oh boy, Friday is fun. But when we get to experiment Friday, we won't get the same satisfaction because deep down we will know that those Australians, they have already experimented Friday. So they're ahead of the game. They're in the know, and we're not. So it sucks for us. What's my point, you may ask? But Doug, why are you talking about the Australians with such contempt? I'm not talking about the Australians with contempt. I'm just saying that they have been having a... They have been experimenting the day much before us. Hence, the day is not as special as you may have thought it was, VapV. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burst your bubble or anything like that. Just wanted you to know what's up with the world of today. That's so you won't get let down in the future. And also you won't be swindled when someone comes and say, hey, you should enjoy today because today is a special day when you get to buy this television for half the price. And you're like, no. You say that it's a special day, but it's not special. The Australians have already had it. I will not buy that television for half the price. Dog, damn you. But then you can go and one-up those Australians by going to Australia yourself. And then you get to Australia, you ferry a boat, you rent it or whatever it is that you do with boats, and then you sail east of Australia for a little while, just a little while, not too much, or else you're gonna get lost in the sea, and that would be very bad. You sail east of Australia for just a tiny while, and then you'll be, well, not a tiny while, sail for like hours, and then you're gonna be, guess where? You're gonna be in a new time zone west of Australia. So you're gonna be one hour ahead of them. Then you're gonna enjoy a new special day because you're gonna be the first one in the world to be experimenting it. But it's gonna be very expensive, hence why nobody does that. And also, you know, being in a boat in the middle of the ocean, it's kind of bleh. There's better things to be doing with a day, such as enjoying it back home. Who knows? But you gotta believe that it's gonna be a hacking special day. So go and do that one of these days. Like, if you have the time and the money, go and do that. You might surprise yourself. I'm just thinking now, like, this is gonna be incredibly annoying to color. Like this character here with the braided hair. Because when we get to the painting, that's the part where I'm gonna where I won't pull any punches and I will go extra fancy with the techniques. And also, Anafion says Austrian furs love ruffle. And Oni says Doug 104 hates you. Why? And Sam says your bark. What did you miss? We missed 2 hours of stream, I guess, and we were talking about Roadhead and lap driver and porn conventions and other things which I don't remember. And one of us says you missed Slender. Did he? What? Who lied? And only says 104 or 104 104 104 gets mad at you because you say you're gay as a response for everything he questions. And you're doing voice to text one. And 104 says Alexa, sing the song of Oni. And Sam, you can't understand this, you just try to follow through the flow. VapV says, I've never left your home country before, of America. United States, you mean. So you might just give it a try. Do it. I mean, it's gonna be expensive, but do it. Traveling ought to be fun. I have heard that. Lots of people who travel enjoy happier lives, but also are much more prone to life-threatening accidents. Or something of the sort. I don't remember how it went. But who knows? But damn, I needed a reference for the characters as colors, but now I have it, and damn. This is an amazing reference, having all the characters lined up, everyone with major colors going on. It's gonna be amazing. It's also, of course, mandatory because the comic needs a cover. And it just happens that the cover shows up every single character, main character. And one of us says, Sam, slender is a noun that means the action or crime of making a false spoken statement damaging to a person's reputation. And Sam says, oh, I see, so you guys were being lewd while you wasn't here. Talking about blowjobs in the car. Are you kidding me? Yes, we're not. One of us says, and no, you get angry when people use gay as slur or negatively, like, why are you so lazy? Because I'm gay. Oh, I see. Sione, in the end, 104 does hate you, but it's not for the reasons you think. He hates you because you don't talk yourself. And Neku says, when you travel to São Paulo, you feel way better. Oh, then travel more, Doug Demio. And 104 says, dangerous cars. Dangerous car rides. And Anafion says, Doug, I am from Greece. Where are you? I am from Brazil. It's a lovely tropical country in South America. Which, by the way, is huge, but nobody knows anything about it other than that Rio isn't there in here and people play soccer. Other than that, nobody knows anything about our country of Brazil. I'm afraid. La 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 la. La 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 la. So now I need this color but darker and more towards this kind of color. So this girl here, she has kind of like a, her clothes gives off a very strong Wednesday vibes from the Addams Family. By the way, Wednesday's name in Portuguese is like completely what? It has nothing to do with it. That's not how you translate. But it kinda works. It's not about keeping the original sense of it, but it's more about making it easier for us to relate to it and talk about it, because it sounds easier. It's easier to say, it's easier to remember, it's altogether easier. And we poor buffoons. Anyway, I think I'm done. Look at that, a colored family portrait picture thing. Lovely. But an Aphian, dog damn, I have been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and dog damn, I guess I'm slowly, very slowly, but still somewhat falling in love with what apparently ancient Greece was, or has been. So kudos on you for being from there. And when I first said that Doug, it's from Doggoland. Yeah, that's what I called it, but nobody else seems to get on with it. I say, hey, how about we start calling this place Doggoland, and everyone just ignore me, so I stopped doing that as well. And Neko says, lovely, you want to hug that dog like the kid. What? And then Afton says that Brazil rocks, you've never been. You should. Maybe. Who knows? Perhaps one day. And Nani says, hate is still hate. What? And Sam says, Brazil is good when you go to the right places at the right time. Winter in the south is good. If we had spring, it would be nice here in your region. And 1-4 says, but you don't have spring. We do. In the south half of Brazil. The northern half is like incredibly close to the equator line, so there's no seasons per se. Little geography class for you, 104. The closer you are to the equator line, the less pronounced seasons you have. Everything is just hot all year round. The further away you are from the equator line, the more pronounced seasons you have. However, the closer you get to the poles, the more pronounced winter is and less pronounced everything else is. So, you gotta find a balance. And 104 says amazing art. Oh, thank you. Glad you like it. And Sam says we only have scorching summer and the rainy winters. And Nani says choke me daddy. Wow, weirdly enough, that has the same initials as my comic name. Who knew? And Eka says one of the pages the kid is hugging the pretty dog with his face on his belly. Oh yeah, he is. In this one, like here. That he is. This is a discarded page. I did this, but I thought, nah, I gotta go with this version of the comic, because this is a prologue that like introduces the characters and the setting and whatnot, but it took like 20 pages, and my writing teacher said, no, this is incredibly long and incredibly boring. Gotta make this a better introduction. So I kinda summed it up in a 7 pages introduction. That worked pretty well. And Anafian says you like warm places like Thailand, but Thai society sucks with the lady boys and all. The who? And one of us says on dictatorship. Doug, damn it, Doug, you didn't come here to learn. Well, I guess you're gonna have to deal with it, 104. If you are here, you are gonna learn, and if you don't learn, I'm gonna be very disappointed with you. And you know that being disappointed at people is a thing I do daily and very easily, so... So, don't doubt me when I say that I will judge the heck out of you and I will get disappointed. Anek, you wish that were you there. And an Amphion says Latin America is your next choice, to be honest. Hope Air... What? Hope Air? You hope Airbnb finds you cheap. Well, kinda like Sam says, depends on where you go. If you go, depending on where you go, you can find very good, cheap lodgings, and depending on where you go, your lodgings are not gonna be... It's either gonna be in a very, like, very far away from where you want to be, but extremely cheap in turn. But then again, that's what tourism is about. It's going to a place that you want to be in, but then renting a place in a completely different place because it's cheaper. But then you get to learn all of the delicious things in between these two places. By the way, I have a talent for being incredibly vague. In case you guys... Shit, what have I done? Oh fuck, I closed the window, I didn't mean to. Oh well. But yeah, I am incredibly vague, hooray. It's not a good thing, by the way. It sucks and makes everyone confused. And why did I wanna have this thing here open, by the way? I remember now. I don't need these anymore. I don't need these anymore. I don't need this anymore. I need this, but the PSD file version that has the fancy stuff. What I'm gonna need is those things here. Boy, oh boy. I need to have those things somewhere. Do I have them somewhere? Nope, I do not. Oh fuck. But Doug, what the heck are you talking about? Which things you wish you had? These little textures things that I throw into the... things. Here, patterns. Thank dog I have them. There we go. Well, I have the... I still have it. The drawings, but I don't have them in a pattern, so that kind of fucks up a little bit. Well, it doesn't necessarily fucks up, but it kind of makes my work a little bit harder because I have to go and do this manually, which sucks. But could be worse. It sucks just a little bit. It could suck a whole lot more. Oh well. And one of us says it's such a cute page, and Neku says an Afion. Dollar is really high, so you will find cheap prices too here, I guess. Oni says, Doug, give me a hint in your birthday gift. It is Bones giving you money, Neku giving you better nudes. You know what? I don't want to spoil your birthday surprise, Oni. That wouldn't be very Christmassy of me to spoil all the fun that you will have in Christmas. How about I up the contrast? Bang, now it's all white. Now how do I remove the white again? I forgot how to do that. Okay, this kinda... Oh, you know what? That won't matter. This works. So now I don't want to follow adjacent pixel, I want all whites to be removed. Please don't take that out of context. And now I'm gonna go and get this pattern here and control copy it infinite times. Shit. Actually, no, never mind. This is it. This is all you need. No, I don't want to save this. And Sam says you're light. What? You are light bulb in the darkness. You are the bacon in the fridge for all living things that cry in hunger. You are the alpha and the omega. You are the terror that quacks in the night. You are Sen and you are Super Sandwich. Or Superboy, whatever fits the best. And Afian said that, well, you use Eero and must be like under 30 days visa stuff and see where it is allowed to swim on the nude. I don't think we have any of those in here. So who knows? When the forest says, ooh, the terror that flaps in the night. And Sam says, I will say the lewd version if Doug allows it. And there is a lewd version. You better believe there is. And Sam, you know what? Just because I'm slightly mad at you, I will not allow it. You will not get to do the lewd version. And this is the part where you go, but Doug, why are you mad at me? And I am mad at you. Must I explain? Because you kept going on and on and on and on and on and then on and on again about being pure boy. But if you're gonna be pure boy, you don't do lewd things. But you're being lewd. You're being pure boy who does lewd things, or not being pure boy at all. So that's conflicting information, and one could find that as a lie of sorts. And I dislike lies. So there you go, that's why. Now that we have a pattern going on, what do we do with this sucker? We slap it on in here. And Dono, you're, by the way, updating Clip Studio to 1.8.5. Is that the version I'm using? I don't know. Is it? Could it be? I can't check the version while I'm transforming objects. No, I have 1.8.4. My dog, there's a new version coming out. I'll check that one out. Thanks for the hint. The heads up, by the way, Donald Ducky. I will check that one out. And Neko says, Oni, I'm sorry you don't have a gift. You'll still owe the correct wording to use there, Neko, is OWE. OWE. But anyway, you still owe me my gifts because you didn't give me birthday gifts. So now I'm a fuck. I'm sad boy. I have this in the right C's. I'm gonna select it all and use the warp thing. Warp thing is delightful, but because the warping textures and pictures and shenanigans kinda takes a while and a little bit of processing power from your computer, it's not very fun to do. Because I don't know if you guys can see it or feel it. The worst thing is not seeing it per se, but feeling it. It slows down so incredibly much. Like, god damn. duck flipping them. And Sam says, what? You're mad at Chew? Yes, Sam. I just explained why though. 104 says, Douglas, word. And then he says, yeah, Sam is tainted boy. Because he's pure and lewd. And Sam will say, alright, you'll refrain from the comment, but you're still pure boy on it. And then he says, slap me harder. And Donald says, yeah, you can. Yeah, you should update it when you can. I will once I'm done with these things, but I won't be done for another 72 hours. So there goes my weekend working on the comic. 104 says Sam is like one of the lewdest in this chat from what you have seen. Yes, and that's what does not make sense. And also Ghostman Nation says, hey, hello to you too, Ghostman Nation. How are you doing today? In this delightful day of the tours. I don't know how to say Thursday. Anyway, the day of the tours. How you're doing? How are you doing? Or how have you been doing? In case your day is about to end. And 104 says, ooh, look at that wolf tattoo in the face. It's not supposed to be in the face, it's supposed to be else in the vest. And it's not supposed to be a tattoo, it's supposed to be a pattern. Because these are fancy boys who dress in fancy clothes. Fancy is the name of the game, and these guys are champions. Guys and girls. And on top of that, there have more things have been said in the days of future past. Samuel said, actually only said Victorian wall, and Sam said, you are the boy that came all the way from heaven for the sole purpose of purifying. There's purpose twice in a row, Sam. Of purifying this world, a pure boy of heart, awakened by the presence of lewdness. That's what you are. You are the super pure boy Sam. Milk him on. And Ghostman Nation says, good, you draw wolves too. Ah, that's awesome. I would ask for you to share a drawing, but I forgot. But people can't just go about posting links willy-nilly, so if you feel like it and you want to share the work that you have done, feel free to join our Discord. There's a link down below, or you can summon the Good Boy Bot to throw in a link for the Discord by typing the ! Discord. How? I should not have closed that. Why do I keep closing stuff? It's counterproductive. Why did I close and why do I want to open it again? Hell. Because I want to see how did I do this thing here. Also, wow. Okay, I guess that the one that I did here is much more interesting than the one I have done there. Like, damn. Are these even the same patterns? Like, they don't look the same. Damn. I don't think they are. If I'm being honest. Oh no, this is one and this is the other. I see. I got the shittiest one. Or not. No, wait. This is this. But that's not it all. There's more shit around it. Wait, now I remember how I got around this. Oh, now I remember it. There was a file that was just like a shit ton of patterns like this. Now I remember how it went. And god damn it. It was a ton of patterns like this, and you could go and build your own patterns just by. By the way, let's go back to the cover and delete this. There we go. And there were like just little pieces, like this individual middle piece here, these leaves over here in the corner, and there was just like little bits and pieces, and you could put them together in whichever way you managed to. And then you kind of built your own pattern design out of that, and it was incredibly awesome. And I did that for like many hours. And then I decided, well, now that I have done that, let's make something useful out of that. Then I did this. And it was awesome. And now I have learned something very important. I should have saved this in a file to make my job much easier in the future of, you know, repeating patterns whenever I need to. Since I didn't do a very precise job of control pasting this, they don't they don't fit quite very well. They're kinda all over the place. And also, dog damn Ghost Man Nation, thank you so very much for following me here on Twitch. Welcome to our Canine Pack. I hope you like it here. Like, I really do hope you like it here. And if you do, please take a while to go and tell your friends. And if you do not, then take a while to tell me why you don't like it. That's so I can go and do something about it. Oh, look at that. That's a big ass pattern going on. And Sam says that you are the legendary pure boy. And Ghostman Nation says you draw werewolves. And you draw it on your sketchbook. Aw. But yeah, I'm curious to see it. If you have it anywhere, let us know later, because I want to see. And then it says your draw garble first, because you're garble. And then Aphion says any minotaurs. Yeah, people should be drawing more minotaurs. And Oni says I can link here if you DM me. Yeah, you can also DM the link of your galleries to Oni. Ghostman Nation. And Sam says, Oni, do you know the speech for the Super Loot Boy? Oh boy. Well, of course, Sam is like those guys that go everything success. I want a long-term relationship only, and yet is on Grindr looking for a quick fuck. Exactly, I have the same feeling, 104. Thank you for saying the thing that has been on my mind ever since forever. High five, 104. Thank you. Oni says the speech is I am gay, that's it, nothing special. And Oni said also no one here on Twitch chat private message you. And you share the link. Because if you link the stream, chat will nuke you. Yeah, because the good boy bot is like a little bit of an asshole. And Donald says, hey, thanks for the follow as well. Aw. Oh, that's awesome of you to be following everyone. And Sam says, well, rather than say, you monologue. Wow, look at the size of this, dog damn. Okay, it doesn't need to be huge. Like, I think that the size like this should do it. Now I will cut out everything that isn't this, then warp this texture, this beautiful texture. Come on, let's get warped. You don't care for a stable relationship. You don't care if you want if you don't want for only one night stands or flings. I never am interested in those. If you want to just have fun with no strings or the joy of coming home for someone that loves you and makes you feel wanted, fine, but do not even try to compare me to any of those, because you don't understand the feelings described as sexual attraction, or rather you're not interested in that. Sure thing, Sam. Good on you. And this should be a little bit higher. Yeah, that should do it. Sam says, careful, you retaliate. One of us says it was a comparison, but you understand what you mean. What you meant is that saying I am not interested in that, yet you are interested in that, since you Since the lewd you talk. Sam, do you have a case of the denials? Is that what's going on here? Or is that not what is going on in here? Because you know, denial is a 6-letter word. And it's very hard to pronounce. But that might be because I don't know English whatsoever. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but I don't know how to talk English. Kinda go through life by improvising. And it has worked thus far, hence why I have never stopped doing it. But one of these days that's going to be my downfall. When I try to improvise some English words and I end up saying those things that I should not have said, and someone notices. For a moment, it feels like everything is alright, but someone notices and they start to get onto me and they're like, "Hey, Doug, I think that you may not be who you said that you are. Is there a possibility that you're, perhaps, you know, out of using one of the many words that I know out of the top of my head, because you know I'm an English speaking person. Is it possible that, I don't know, you could be like a fraud?" And then I get shocked. I get shooked. I'm like, what? How could you say such a thing with such intent, with such conviction? How would you go and accuse me of being a thing? Or rather, of not being a thing. Or of being a thing that says that it's not a thing. How and why would you go and do such a thing? To me! Of all people. And then there would be this entire, like... This would be like this subplot that goes on. Where I try to convince everyone that I am in fact an English speaking person. Whereas I'm not. Wait, what? Whereas I am not an English speaking person, and I keep trying to trick people into believing me, but most people do get tricked and they're like, sure, Doug is an English speaking boy, he knows what he's doing and saying and stuff, but someone doesn't truly fall for it, and then I have to find a way to, Doug damn it, Clip Studio, cooperate with me a little bit, will you? Thank you. And then someone is onto me and I have to manage. That's the plot of my new BBC series. It needs a name. Also, what I'm gonna do is get this color here, whichever color that is. Gonna get a darker version of it. Lock the transparency in these delicious pixels and paint them red. Actually, redder. There we go. Now they're red. And they look delightful in there. Look at that. Dog damn, I love it. What have you guys been saying now? 104, you got a high five, a Paul 5. And he needs to be draped in that pattern. He does, they all do. But I'm not, because that takes forever to do. Hence why I'm not gonna do that for the comic either. And Sam says, I am interested on the concept, but you don't want to involve yourself in it. And 104 says, sex chatting is involving yourself though. And Sam says, you will refrain from that then. And 104 says, was that bird that was heard among the cars? I don't know, but there are both things happening. By the way, I have forgot to ask or mention more thoroughly, how loud is the background noises today? Because, like I explained, I have the windows open, but how loud is it? Is it like annoyingly loud, or it's just same old loud? And Dono says the relationship is not about sex, it's part of a relationship, but it's negotiable. Negotiate, not demanded. Yeah, in a way. Anyway, 104 says, I mean, it depends on what relationship it is, I guess. Fuck buddies usually is about sex, whereas being friends with someone or, you know, having work acquaintances is not about sex at all. It doesn't even involve that. If possible, it refrains from that on purpose. Okay, so now I need a new pattern like this one, but for this kind of thing she's wearing on her blah. Which could also have a slightly brighter color, I feel. I want this to be brighter, so I will make it so. There we go. Slightly brighter, just enough. Now I'm gonna go and get another pattern, such as this one. And do it like so. First, this one goes here. Also, how did I do this before? Yeah, normal. Not very special pattern, as it happens. And I mean, if I were a more perfectionist person, I would go a much longer while doing this to make sure that I get this like as perfect as I could. But I'm not, so boy. I don't very much care if this gets a little bit crooked and not 100% in place. I just don't want it to be like clearly wrong, but I don't very much care if this is not perfectly in place. Yep, this is what I meant to do all along. Alright, so now what do I do? Now that I have these delightful pattern going on, I need this one to... Yep. I did something I didn't mean to do. Yep. I get this pattern and drag it down here. Now I drag it again across the whole thing. Landed it there, and now I mix it all in a single layer. And what do you know? It's a big ass pattern going. Super ready for all sorts of purposes, such as being thrown in here. Slap this other fucker in there. And call mama. Ask her if she can make a dress like this for prom, so it can be the most beautiful of girls in there. Okay, let's wrap this and get this going on. And wow. Sam says, you guess you could say you just don't want to physically involve yourself. Your mind has a part that understands that's the extent of it, but it's true that in fact you contemplate in the idea that you are in self-denial. You still contemplate with an N, by the way, Sam, up until today, but you want to find an answer on your own. Onya says, hello world, your use goods is what you say when you and Theodore are done with our scene. Donald says, yeah, but why is fuck buddy so much of a thing? Heck, you rather have a woman who is genuinely interested and be in a relationship, that's it. I don't know, there are some people who don't want the responsibility of commitment, but they don't want But they don't want to have to pay for it, so there you go. And Sam says, sorry, thanks for coaching the words out, but sorry to say that your conclusion is not correct. Conclusion with an N as well, Sam. Or at least not completely. And one of us says, fuck buddies is a thing, since sex can be fun. Sometimes you just want to bang your friends and go back to playing video games. It depends on your line of work. Though, like porn, then you might have sex with your co-workers. But yeah, you must admit that you don't like pure, quote-unquote, use as something that is better than lewd, especially since while not physical, lewd chat is still lewd and not pure. So distancing oneself comes off as self-denial. Sam says, are you even allowed to partake in the conversation anymore? If you take an open-minded approach to it, then sure, why not? The idea here is not to guess who is right and who is wrong, you see. The idea is to get you to understand that you're essentially saying, first of all, let me concentrate on this. The idea is that you're saying that you are pure, and as you say that you are pure, you are also saying that you would do lewd or talk about lewd or whatever. And that is kind of contradictory, and it kind of annoys me. Well, not kind of, it 100% does annoys me. And I don't know. I guess we just want you to understand, because it feels like you don't. That's the best way I can put this. Guess I might be wrong, but well, now that the word is out there, I discuss, Discord, or not. Also, this kind of it looks kind of tilted in the way it should kind of more or less be, but it doesn't look all right. Could be better. I guess I'm gonna throw a wrap on top of the previous wrap. So let's throw in more divisions here. Make my computer lag like crazy, because this is actually very resource intensive. You gotta have a good computer to be able to do this kind of distortions. Not necessarily a good computer, just a computer that can handle more of a good processor. It actually understand manipulations and picture manipulation and render that in real time, but also not apply it, so it kind of has to save it on a temporary memory. So it's resource intensive for your computer, and your computer is gonna be like, please, please, I can't handle this. Buddy, dog damn buddy, you gotta handle it, because I have a work to do, and you're my tool, computer. Anyway, what else have you guys been saying? Donald says, Sam, just go for it, I say. I mean, you just made your point. You would rather be in a relationship and negotiate it, not make it a deal breaker and such. Sam says, don't use pure as better than lewd, rather just an opposite or its rival. And one of us as well, you do claim to be pure rather than lewd, even when you do lewd and talk about purifying only though. And Sam says, at least you still have your 4 rules. And one of us says, those patterns are so neat, by the way. Ah, thank you. I found them online and stole it from some site, and I never bothered to credit them. I mean, I should, but I don't know where I got it from. I will have to Google it one of these days. And Sam says, how should you explain this? And of course says, look like bird attacking them now there are mosquitoes. Whoa, whoa. Attacking the queen. And Sam says, I guess you could say that it could come back to the 4 rules you made, and one says yes, but rules to make you feel like you're still pure sounds like self-denial. It just sounds like something to save you from dissonance. Now the queen has a fancy beard. She shouldn't have a beard at all, but anyway. because you restricted yourself with them, but that made you realize that if there is a side of you that wants to be part of the outside, that's why I have the fourth rule. And only says you have fuck buddies and you guys are not any of them. Fuck damn it, have you been... Oh, Oni? Why did you have to single us out? Fuck them. Not to be honest... but to be honest, it don't matter since they are just for yourself to feel better about you doing loot things, and says... Sam says his bone or neck you one of them though. And she tattooed herself and her dress. She's a very radical queen, or rather empress. By the way, writing comics writing stories is complicated because it's not just sitting there. This looks like shit. I don't like how this looks. It's too distorted in a kind of a disgusting way. Alright, how do I do this? And also, as I was saying, computer, come on, computer. I had to go and look into Wikipedia and give a read, not a true read, just read, and a glaze over. What is what is an emperor compared to a king, compared to a duke, compared to any other sorts of terms and words? What are those things even? And you know, it's not like light fun read that you do because you kind of have a little bit of free time in your hands and you feel like, how about I go and read about fun things? It's like, no, I'm actually trying to learn things, and learning things sucks because it's boring. But yeah, I had to go and do the learning, and it sucked and it was boring, and I did it. And I learned what the hell is an emperor and what the hell is a king. And it all has to do not with what they do, but what sort of properties they have. A king has a kingdom, and an emperor has an empire. That might sound obvious right now, but when I was trying to come up with the things in my own head, I was like, what the fuck is this? So pretty much a king has a kingdom, which is a large piece of land, and an emperor has an empire, which is a much larger piece of land and various kingdoms. Not one, but many. And they might be spread apart and divided by things that are not per se owned by the emperor or the kings. And after learning all that, I was like, wow. World is a complicated place. Samuel said, well, being honest, most loot things make you uncomfortable. But sometimes you just enjoy yourself in it for some reason. So you guys could say part of you is loot, you are being honest for real now. Also, please don't make fun of your 4 rules. They help you not become a delinquent. If they don't refer to loot at all, it's something you had since you was a kid. 1-4 says you only mention them about loot. And that 4th rule was to be able to do loot. And Donald says for you, you don't mind discussing anything just as long as it gets to a point, and then we're moving along. It has to end at some point. Exactly. You guys have been at this for a while, so let me quickly read all of the things you guys have said, then we're gonna go through an ultimatum where you guys have to either make a decision or drop the matter entirely, because I can't stand talking about this anymore. Also, hello there Nathan, welcome to the stream. Sam said that, well, the 4th rule basically lifts all 3 rules for a period of time. Also, your typers are broken keyboard. Only says cause you don't want to loot friends, cause if you loot friends and we're all here every week. 1-4 says, but that is exactly what you said, question mark. It's just to let you experience things you want but without feeling guilty, so you have rules but you lift them. So they aren't really rules anymore. When he says and talk a lot and etc, it's gonna get really awkward and odd, and yeah, makes us say, well, that thing, yeah. Sam says basically rule number 1, no corrupt thoughts like suicidal thoughts or hatred. Rule number 2, don't drink or use anything that can be bad or addictive. Rule 3, don't hold grudges or malicious feelings towards anyone. See, Sam, the thing here is that I feel that you're more romanticizing what it is to be a decent human being, pretty much. Like, everyone does that, we just don't specifically go. Doesn't specifically go and make a point of making rules and saying them out loud. We just know that those things are not good. Also, I still cannot understand this pattern going on here. Sam says, you have done that in the past, you liked it a little bit, but mostly made you feel out of place, not for guilt, just out of place. And Oni says, plus, IR do edumacate with Douglas. What do you mean, Oni? Why can't any of you write in proper English, Doug Daniel? Except for 104. 104 has, like, good grammar. And he's not even American, so how about that? Considering your brand, quote-unquote, is Pure Sam Boy, you are not surprised you feel out of place, though. And none of these rules even apply to lewd. And Sam says not really, lewd is outside of the 4 rules. And 104 says only, so slap me Daddy Douglas isn't awkward. Who knows? Who knows even, at this point. But yeah, Sam pretty much yeah, I feel like you're making a huge thing out of something that is not necessarily huge. I understand that you might feel kinda lost about it and have to come up with rules and things, because what it is truly is dealing with your sexuality, pretty much, and how you see word and see a relationship with other people. And it is and has been confusing to everyone that has ever gone through those things. Doesn't get it's not something that that's like it's 100% unique to you. Everyone has gone through something like that. Some people are still going through like that, even though they're much older than you currently are. But the thing about it mostly is that oh, by the way, the music ended. You gotta do what you want to do. A lot of things will make you feel like, no, but this is bad, or it's considered something bad, so you want to distance yourself from those things. But truly, you gotta experiment things that you do and experiment and be responsible while doing so. But so long as you're being responsible, then it doesn't really matter what you do. So whatever it is that you want to go and indulge, just make sure you're being responsible and have someone trustworthy doing supervising over that, and try it out. See what things you like and what things you don't like. So don't go by what other people say. Just try and find what feels right for you. And who knows, maybe one day you will be like, okay, so now I understand myself better, and this is what I want and this is what I don't want. And then you won't feel the need to use labels anymore, such as pure boy or whatnot. You'll just be like, no, I'm Sam and I like these things and I dislike these things. That's it. By the way, here, have some crazy ass soundtrack. This is Fire Emblem Awakening soundtrack. because I had it here, so why not? Slap that sucker on and let's play some music. Also, you know, I'm gonna do this some other time. This patterns here. It's gonna take forever to do, and yes, sure, apply transform. I don't want to do it anyway. I'm gonna solve this little conundrum of the patterns in some other time. Right now I have to focus on being productive, and that would imply getting on with the coloring and color these background characters as well. They are here too. They are part of the cover. Color too. There we go. But anyway, that's it, Sam. That's what I had to say on the subject. And I hope that we can move on to other things. Not to dismiss what you had to say. It is a valid discussion, but not one I have the energy to discuss. The energy or the will, so yeah. But that doesn't mean that you should dismiss it as well. You should go after it and find someone with whom you want to discuss that and look into it. That one just won't be me though. And Sam says, ooh, actually no, wait. Oni, you said you are a smart boy. Nah, but it's true. You have done some learning with me, Doug. Oh, there goes a truck. What? Loud music, by the way. Lowering the volume through here is much harder than through elsewhere. Ah, okay. I can use the arrows. Anyway, what things have you learned with me, Oni? I have not. I would not know which things I have or have not been teaching people, so that's confusing. And Sam says, so drop the subject, a part of you is lewd, but you are not 100%. No, 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 no. No end of story, Sam. This is not something you can resolve in a single day because people said, do it. This is something you have to go through, think about on your own, and that's gonna take years. It's gonna take forever for you to come to terms with what it is and what it isn't or not. It might be shorter, but it's not something that happens in like a couple of minutes. And Sam will say, well, I like the answer I gave you, so thank you, Mr. Douglas. But if that's how it is, then you already have the answer. And Oni says, oh my dog, you have 12,000 goodbye pounds. How so? And then he says, wait, Doug, did Zach tell you to transfer the 500 goodbye pounds for you to color? No, he has not. I mean, he did tell me that he discussed the picture review, but I also said that I had to finish that picture, so I haven't finished it yet, so I hope you haven't begun coloring it, Oni, because that's not the final picture. And if you have started coloring it, you have fucked up. Like, majorly. Like, dog damn, you've gone and done something almost as bad as murdering. So, shame on you, Oni. Shame on you. And Aku says, unpopular opinion. Everyone says they want to be a good boy, but being a lewd boy is way more fun. That's not an unpopular opinion. Every fucking one thinks that, Aku. Except that not everyone has the means to go and pursue that line of thought and life of and lifestyle for many reasons. And now it says, what you learn: quick color, quick shade and lighting, using less layers. Oh my dog, using less layers is like pro tip. I mean, for me it is pro tip. The whole using less layered things comes from, you know, having a bad computer. Theoretically, having more layers is always good in the way that if you want to change things in your drawing, it's gonna be incredibly easier and faster. Problem is that when, depending on what you're doing, you're probably not gonna be changing things oftenly at all. Especially if you work on your own, you're gonna be doing things on your own, and some things can change by themselves. You don't need to have like the color of the skin and the color of the clothes separated by layers, because you already have a line art separating those two suckers. So all you have to do is use the magical wand, select a different part, and there you go. But some people, for whatever reason, they prefer to have each color on its layer. That's how you change the whole thing. That must have been like inherited from way computers used to work way too long ago, but they don't work like that anymore, so there's no reason for going with the 1000-layer files. That's unproductive. But you also learned remodel of your old style to be your current style. I mean, theoretically, only if we were to have like a private tutoring session in which I were to be teaching you things, like actually giving you lessons and whatnot. I feel like there's a lot more I could teach you, but alas, none of us have the time for that. And you haven't, says Sony. Okay, less bad. Starting color now would have been a bad thing. And Tiger, welcome Bark. You have been mighty quiet today. I hope we didn't frighten you away with our talk of what was it that we had been talking about? I know we were talking about something weird. Oh yeah, it was my whole plot of the guy who gets on that I am not a native English speaker, and he starts to kind of try to unmask me and reveal me as a fraud. Maybe you didn't approve of that talk, that's why you have been quiet so long. But anyway, good to have you, Bark. You said experimentation is a part of life and allows for learning and growth. Being responsible while doing it will help you grow. You can't find answers in a day, Sam. Yes, exactly. I had said earlier today that trying out new things is how you learn your fetishes, and Bones told someone to quote that sentence because he didn't feel like doing it himself, but nobody quoted that. So that's a shame. I guess I will go and quote that myself, but that feels kind of like a douchey move, like quoting yourself. But who cares? Maybe I'll go and attribute it to Bones instead of being like, this thing was said by Douglas. No, I'm gonna go and say that it was said by Bones, and then everyone will think that it was Bones that said it, and everyone is gonna be like, oh wow, Bones is so wise. Let's go and talk to Bones, have him share more of his wisdom with us. And little do we know, we ended up ruining Bones' life. He has only one. I'm back. And Oni says, I need to revive the file so you can continue. Revive? What do you mean? What happened to it? And Sam says, I know but Tiger trusts you when you say you've passed through enough. Alright, you and 104 solved the issue in private, not a quick answer, mind you. And honestly, Sam, you're always gonna feel like that. No matter who you are or where you are in life, you're always gonna feel like And you say, oh no, you don't understand, I have been through enough. But everyone has been through enough. Everyone has been through a lot, in fact. Life has that thing, it kinda has a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, but not a whole lot of people go and talk about the stuff they have been through, but everyone has been through a lot. They just don't talk about it, Sam. But you're a smart boy, I guess you already knew that. Oni says not revive. Receive the final file from Zach or me. Preferably from me, because I'm gonna give it you at full size in full HD. So you can see those delicious single hairs of fur in its glorious HD resolution. But not really, it's gonna be a crappy ass file. Anyway, 104 says, did a car just toot? Maybe, I don't know. I live in front of an avenue, like I said many a times in the past, and I have lived here for so long now that I have grown completely desensitized to all the noises that happen in the street. One might even say that I have gone deaf. But anyway, Anu said that you're a visual learner and free-handed and style adapter. Remember what you said several months saying. You gotta study and see the desired style to actually do a version of it in your style. And Tiger said lots of talk to take in. You're a quiet boyo until you want to say anything. That and working, yes. Whenever we remember of that, I kinda want to thank you so very much, Tiger. You and everyone else, truly, that decide to do the irresponsible thing and come and watch the stream during work. That is very irresponsible in a way, but I appreciate that you guys do that so much. Thank you. Except for Bones, because Bones actually does... He joins the stream, but then he says, nah, I have to work, and then he closes the stream, so... Not Bones, but everyone else, thank you guys so much for being here during work. Okay, so how do I color these boyos? So she has a darker skin tone. A little bit more pale. Like I said, I want to go with kinda like pastel colors, so I don't want... Also, why don't she have ear details? I don't want the colors to feel like too saturated. Guess how this goes. Wow, dog damn, this guy is bright AF. Okay, now I got a good enough skin color, I guess. More or less good. Anyway. And... 104 says, ooh, just realized that the bearded guy's eyes are kinda small, but you like his big mouth. Yes, his eyes are a touch too small. Also, what kind of seating devices are they using this picture? In the invisible kind. Sam says, huh, you guess I didn't give you guys enough credit for your analysis. I appreciate your worry over you, but you know that no one has ever been through enough. No one has been through enough, Sam. If they have been through enough, they have mastered life, and no one ever truly masters life. But I mean to say that everyone has been through a lot, so saying that you have been through a lot is kind of disrespectful, because you're saying that... Because in a way you're saying that what you have been through is more important than what other people have been through, and that's disrespectful. And... tacky. But anyway. But you thorough in... What? But I've through enough to reach the answer you needed. Sure. And Ani says that's why you got your 300 plus hours you daily, and you mean daily, join in. Yes. Also because you're a moderator, so you need to moderate the chat. well, don't need to. I just appreciate that you do. You don't have to moderate like the chat, and you could actually go and live your life and have fun and enjoy your youth. But instead, you're here. So I appreciate that you're doing that. But on the bright side, you're racking up some serious goodbye pounds. And Sam says, what about you when you always went through extra classes to learn? Notice you, Douglas Senpai. And Nani says, only times you missed out was when you was sick or your phone has no service for the day. And Sam says, well, looks like you are not important enough for those details to be remembered. So like Oni does, you go cry in the ditch. I didn't say that, Sam. I said something else entirely. And Oni, you're gonna do your moderator job now. It's a Sam, quit your shit. There, job done. My dog. Let me open up a quick Hefaz file I have on my browser opened up, which also could also be known as a drawing I stole from the internet. Like everything else I do, I steal it from the internet. I shouldn't, but I do it, so... Oh. I guess I'm a bad boy after all. But not really. Everyone does it. Do you know how hard it is to have actual original ideas? You have to really brainstorm, and when I say really brainstorm, I mean brainstorm like crazy for hours. And while that is fun, it isn't when you're pressed for time. So I said, fuck it, I have work to do. So I went on the internet, found some nice designs and mishmashed them up again to reach this thing we have going on here. Which doesn't mean that this is altogether bad, it just means that, you know, sometimes you should not... You should actually go and do the extra job of brainstorming things and taking an extra while to figure things out. But sometimes you don't have that kind of time. You have shit to do and you have a life to live. But if you do, in fact, stop and take the extra time to figure things out, your work will improve from that. Because you will be applying some very important questions to your work, such as, why is this the way it is? And when you stop and think about the whys, you start considering so much more. And you end up doing so much more as well. So what I'm gonna go and doing here is, because I forgot to do this beforehand, I'm gonna create a new layer. To use the magic wand to select things through all layers. What things do you want to select, Doug? Oh, what the hell? I want to select these guys here. Let's hide everything else. And what is selected? Okay, just this big ass area. I want to deselect all those things and these bits here, this bit here as well, this extra bit here as well, and colorize this with a very darkish color, such as this base color, so we can have the colors on top, and then we can mix those two together and bang, Have colors. Yay. And it works. So hooray for that. And Nekio says spammy. And Dono Ducky, you're 25 years old. My dog, you're young as fuck, Dono. I thought you were older. One of us says stealing art. Everyone does it. I mean, they do. And Dono says your body and mind have gone through 25 years of hell, but your mind can be anything. Ooh. And then it says, Daddy Nekio, will you love you more as your daddy? What? That's Electropod. What the hell are you talking about, Oni? And I'm not sure you're using words right, Oni. And Tiger says, okay, youngings and Daddy Oni, huh? Come be old like you. Oh man. How old are you again, Tiger? I forgot. Yeah, you're 34. 7. 31. Are you 63? 12. 94. Oh, you beat 33. Oh, okay. That's young. You're still a spry young boy. Full of potential and things to do with your life. When I say full of potential, I mean like my dog. You could run marathons. You could do all sorts of things. So what color will this guy's jacket be? How about blue? Let's find colors that match with blue. Blue. Alright. Well, this is gonna be a... this is as saturated blue as I can stand. Other than that, let's see other colors that mix well with blue, such as white. And have some white highlights here and there. Speaking of blue and highlights, my dog. Have you guys seen the most... what's it called again? I never remember what it's called in the Danganronpa series. The thing they call the most tragic event in humankind history or something. Anyway, the most tragic event in humankind apparently is happening right now because someone's have decided to go and make a live action movie of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I'm confused and I am scared. But most of all, I'm confused as in why even bother. So those of you guys who have spent more time in the internet than I have, please enlighten me. Why is that a thing? Why is that happening? What have we done to deserve it? So there we go, we have a huge array of blues going on with these guys as clothes. But now I feel like the main blue, the dark navy blue, is not blue enough. I feel like it's too desaturated compared to pretty much every other shade of blue that is going on here. So maybe I will go and select it with my magic wand and change its color. How about that? And Tiger says, you'll be 33 and a half soon. And 104, you are 35. You're older than all of you. That's... sure. Tiger says, Darnia beat me, 104. And 104 says, in 4 months, you will be 36. My dog, your birthday is gonna be in September. Holy shit. And Connie-kun, hello there. Oh my dog, it's been forever since I've seen you. How have you been, Connie-kun? And Sam says everyone is a youngling to you, Mr. Douglas. Not really. To me, everyone is a potential customer with whom I can do transactions. How about this? No, it gets darker. I need it to be more blue. No, I need it to be... Actually, how about it just be slightly more lighter? Nah. Actually, maybe the brighter colors should be darker. How about that? Wait, have I selected all the things? No, I haven't. What the hell? There we go. Now the contrast is smaller. Minus 30. See, small contrasts makes the world a better place. Like literally, it does. So how about you have gray eyes? Kinda like 104's. 104 preaches day and night that he has gray eyes. So there you have it. Oh no, I forgot all about the fact that the way I draw comics now, only the animal peeps have eyes like this. The humans have different eyes, or rather, the eyes work in different ways. So I'm gonna have this here as a reference for your guys' eye colors. But is a bunch of fat that congregates in your lower back. That is the butt. They're gonna have a bright white sclerae. So fun when you how the plural of sclera is. And then they're gonna have more well-drawn eyes. In a second, I just need to get the right brush to do this. Because this drawing it's incredibly huge in size. It's like 6,000 pixels tall by 4,150 pixels wide. But these details are incredibly small compared to like the entirety of the canvas. But there you go. Humans have eyes that are like this. And the color should be working, but it isn't. Dog damn, what have I done? Have I painted this with white? I should not have painted this with white. I should have not painted it with any color whatsoever. Guess what? I have fucked up. But just slightly. I can fix this. Don't worry, don't fret. The fixing is happening. And what else? Let me. Okay, there we go. Donezo. Now for the killers. God damn it, there's just white going on. How is it that I have fucked up so hard? I'll need a very small brush to do these sorts of details in here. To erase these bad details, rather. And there we go. Okay, there we go. Ish. Kinda works now. Okay, it took me a while, but I figured it out and fixed it. There we go. And whoa, people have said a lot of stuff. And Oni says you're 25, going to be 26. I'm 25 and I'm gonna be 26. God damn it, Oni, stop copying me. And you said orange makes blue stand out. It does. These are complementary colors. But I don't want to use orange. Because he already has an orange-ish color skin tone. And then he says reason why every day we're further away from God's light. What? And then he says one said September, Douglas. And Douglas says, you mean March? No, I'm... maybe I do mean March. And Tiger says, Coney-kun says you're fine, just dealing a lot with a lot because of bad neighbors. Porn. I'm sorry to hear so. One of us says also, I guess it's 5 months then, April. And Tiger says, yeah, you still count December. Also, April is a lovely month for a birthday. Why? Is it? And one of four says it's pretty okay. Oh, you thought you would have the same eyes as the other, how weird, but interesting. And then he says you're the last one to be old, but the one to stay young the longest. Kinda. I guess. And one of us says Douglas is fucking up. And Connie-kun says at least there is a bright side, at least you're not getting folked up in the ass. It's folk like... It's like Hawkery, but with falcons. Like Falkery. One of us says, ah, poor Douglas not getting any butt sex. Yeah, poor me. And Connie-kun says, wait, you're younger than me, Douglas. I'm going to be 27 in January. Hell yes, I'm a young ass boy. People don't think so when they see me. They think I'm like 18 years old or something because I look so goddamn young. Except when I let my beard grow, then people are like, wow, you're like a young person with a scraggy beard. He must be really young. Okay, there we go. I can delete this layer. Now I have killers. This is gonna be the humans. I'm gonna put them in a folder. But why, Douglas? Why are you putting them in a folder? Because I want to do this. I want to get a gradient going on. In which this is up. This happens. Ta-da. Maybe a longer gradient. I want more grays in here than black and white. Then I'm gonna throw it in top of this, and I'm gonna lower the opacity a bit. I want them to be in the cover, but I want them to be kinda pull in the background. Let's try every single layer effect we can try to see which one of these make them kinda stand What is the opposite of stand out? I don't know. I want them to kind of be hard to see. I want them to be kind of like, whoa, this is spoopy, there's just eyes. I want them to kind of not show up at all. Or be like kind of grayed out, like it was before. Hard light is interesting, but it's not precisely what I'm looking for. Maybe there's one, maybe I will have to use two effects. That could also work. I think I'm gonna go with hard light. Then I'm gonna create another. And do the same thing, but maybe this one would work better if it were the other way around. Now with subtract, I don't know what this is doing, but it's making them dark, be more hidden, and I like it. Ish. By the way, in case you guys think I know what I'm doing, I don't. I'm throwing in random effects and seeing what sticks and what doesn't. Hopefully something will work out of this mess. So maybe subtract, but lighter. Or maybe just get straight dark, just to hide them. To really make them disappear in the back. That's so the focus can be on the royal family here in the front. But anyway, I'll figure that later. First, let's do this. Let's color them by throwing in shade. That is an expression. I don't know what it means though, but I know that it's an expression. And Oni says a dog is fucking you up. I am doing no such thing, Oni. I never intended to do that. And what the first of that, I'm like 15. Well then, I'm a very successful 15-year-old then. And Kanikun says, I still hope to draw Dougie soon. You want to try drawing him in your style? Please do. I would love to get more drawings. Oh yeah, that's the thing I was gonna talk about a long while ago. And one of us says, there are ghosts, stand in. And Kanikun says, introverted, unnoticed. When he says, wallflower. Thanks, you're always a wallflower. What? A wallflower around the glory hole. What are you even going on about? But yes, what the thing I was going to say that I didn't end up saying is that we have, well, I don't mean we. I mean we. People in general have this word for illustration, that is drawing, and we use this word very often. Although drawing has the connotation that it's it's more amateur-ish compared to the word illustration. The word illustration feels like more thought, more planning, more professionalism was involved in it, whereas drawing feels like it was like something a person did just because. Like, it isn't the end goal, it's just something a person did because they needed to. But that in itself wasn't the goal. Anyway, drawing. In American accent, people just say drawing. But damn, in British accent, they say drawing like in such a lower tone that it feels like a robot is breaking down and going out of batteries. Because in British accent, people say drawing, more or less. And that is a thing I was noticing as well about deeper and thicker British accents. Is that the farther away you are from the metropolitan London, the thicker your accent becomes. To the point that it becomes less international and becomes more it gets very thick, and some sounds they change, very specific sounds. Like I had managed to kinda nail down what was the thing that changed it, but I forgot right now. But if I'm not mistaken, the idea was that most sounds that has some sort of W quality to them, most syllables that have a W sound, or they just have the W, it kinda somehow they add extra O's in there for whatever reason. So like drawing, when they go to the W of the drawing, it kind of becomes an O as well. It adds an O and it becomes drawing. And the R's get extended. It's crazy. It's out of control. But anyway, Oni, you said I'm gonna destroy you with your dog damn knee one. And Oni says the plot Dickens. The plot was Theodore Deacon Oni so hard that Oni is in a wheelchair. And also, hello there, or rather, Hell Zero there, Alex Nitro. How are you doing? And Oni says, speak louder, Oni. And one of four says, without arms or legs, and Alex Nitro says, drawing. Yes, drawing. Yes. That's how you do a British accent, pretty much. Oh boy, what is this? What? Oh, it's part of the patterns layer. How weird. We just wherever there is a W, you add that O in there, and you instantly do a British accent. I guess. I don't remember if that's the case, but that seems to be the case. Whereas to do a Brazilian accent, you just pay attention to. You just learn the Brazilian way to pronounce syllables, and you read everything that way. And it gets very doofy. It's so awesome. Oh, I like this song. Why is the volume so low? By the way, I don't know if you guys noticed or heard, but the soundtrack that is playing right now is Fire Emblem Awakening. I never fully played this game, but I played enough that I got acquainted with the soundtrack enough to say, wow, this is dope, I would like to spend more of my free time listening to this. And then I did. And there we are. Okay, let's do the shading now. As always, I do the shading by throwing in color. Bam, there we go. Slap some Random ass color in there, and now we get a light color, such as this one. Yep. And I guess it should go. Let's test to see how this works in her. Okay, it works. Maybe the dark color could also be kind of have a blue-ish quality to it. The lowering. Now let's actually add full-on blue, but brighter. It'll kind of feel like a floodlight blue going on. The problem with blue is that it makes everything feel like it's nighttime, and the problem with yellowish tones is that it makes everything feel like it's kinda... It doesn't give you a good enough contrast. And you know how much of a sucker I am for things that don't need to have multiple colors going on. Yep. Didn't mean to do that. Did not mean for that to happen. How about this? We got another layer, painted blue, throwing a multiply. Fuck. Throwing a multiply, lower its opacity value. Rather, increase its opacity value. Actually, take out the multiply, make it normal, make this one normal, true. Make just the blue multiply, because I want it to multiply into our... Yes, that is a sentence. Okay, so now, what it's doing is that it's kind of making this portion here kind of dark. Maybe I can do this in a more interesting way by using the marker pencil. Oh my dog, Oni, you are a wing. What's happening? Does it mean it's time to say farewells? Dog damn, Oni. Why do you have to remind me of such sad times in everyone's lives? Poor 104, what is he gonna do now that we're not gonna be here for him anymore? Where is he gonna go and get his desserts? If not through us. Alright. This should already give some sort of a tone. Now what we do is go back to normal, take off this multiply, and our bright color is gonna be this yellow, but also very incredibly light blue. Why? Just cause. There's no reason to use light blue in your paintings. So I'm gonna alternate between these two colors. So let's make it that so the yellow light comes from the left side and the blue light comes from the right side. That way we have a good filter. And let's start slapping on some colors into this. To this sad, sick people. Not sick, neither sad, just people. Canine people. So apparently coloring and deciding on things took the majority of the stream time, somehow. I got to do very little today. Dog them. And the gist here is the same old as always. We use this default brush that comes with Clip Studio, that is the dense watercolor. If I made any alterations to it, it was like just pressure sensitivities, shenanigans. It wasn't much. They changed, and by default this brush is amazing for doing this exact thing I'm doing. If you try to use this for anything else, you're gonna break your computer. So don't, or do. Who knows? Experimenting is part of a life. And now, by using the incredible power of shading, I can, well, this sort of shading at least, I can go back to doing something awesome, and that something awesome is suggesting depth. Although one of my drawing teachers in the past told me that it's a very cheap thing to resolve your depth with colors. If you have a depth problem, you should try and strive to solve it without relying on colors and shading. You should try to resolve it when it's just a line art. And if you can make line art, and if you can resolve it with line art, then goddamn, you're a master. And you should not even be here. You should be out there conquering the world with your arts and illustrations and stuff. And oh, 104, you say you are so sad. Why are you sad, 104? And then he says you're a good boy, so good you're speaking small text. Because you're a good, small, terse, lewd boy, and Doug is enabling everything so much that enabling is now just only no. What? And Connie, you say that your internet derped. What happened? And Connie says your work always amazes me though, Doug. Your attention to detail is heart. Purple heart. Your more modern manga style. I will not know what that is without researching and looking at some, but thank you. Thank you so very much for your kind words, Koniko. And one of us says, wait, I looked away and now they're all brown. Yes. Yes, they took a very tragic detour into the sewer system and now they're brown. That's what happens when you look away, 104. You can't subject yourself to that. If you look away, you're gonna miss the very important things that are happening here. So you can't do that. Oh well, now that you have missed it already, then all you gotta do is take my word for it and move on to other things, such as giving me money. Why don't you do that? I need it. And Sam says you feel so much better. You talk with a friend and you're feeling so much better. I'm glad you are. Welcome back, Sam. And Konikon says you do a similar lighting and shading method. Oh, really? I mean, this method, I find it to be the easiest, but also the most effective. So it's a wonder that people out there are going with anything else that isn't this, because this works so well and it's so dope. And it just works. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to go and do this, like, every single day. And wow. Anya says, by the way, Transistor Waterwall OST sounds familiar to you. And 104 says, you are sad because you're ending, because of Oni. And then it says like literally familiar, like if you heard an alternate version and you're trying to remember what it was or where you heard it, but it's giving you a headache. As if you put it away for some reason you don't want to go back to remembering. Wasn't it Waterwall? Wasn't it that if it's the kind of tropical island music, isn't it the Death's Gambit music? Like that one where you're in an island as well? Might have been. Who knows? One of us has no money, you're gonna steal art. No! Fuck them, don't steal art. And Oni, you're gonna shoot salmon in me. Well, hi. Oh my dog, Oni, why even? That's not very befitting of you. Of a good boy such as yourself. I would expect that from Bones, but not from you. And one of four says, why shouldn't you steal art? You say that everyone does it. Yes, everyone does steals art, but everyone was more of an euphemism for it. Well, was a short-handed way of saying everyone in the world of art that do art as in like character concept and whatnot. Like if you're creating characters and doing that with a big enough frequency, if you're into the world of concept art, then you do still art quite often. And by still art, I don't mean art, I mean still ideas for art. You mean still concepts. And by still, I mean you copy it. And by copy it, I mean you take ideas and don't credit them. I guess that the way I worded and said and implied things felt confusing, and I understand if you're confused about that. And 104, I also did not steal the patterns. I did get them from an internet site, but like I said, they were very small little. They were small little parts of a pattern, and I went and built my own pattern out of that. So I picked random resources around, like pretty much I stole Lego bricks, but I built a house of those Lego bricks. So I can't say that I stole the whole thing. I used an actual thing as a support, as a building block for something else that I came up with on my own. 104, why are you antagonizing me? What the hell have I done? What the hell's wrong with you antagonizing me like that? I thought we were friends. I thought we were gonna be partners in crime, and now you're throwing me under the bus. Fuck damn you. I thought I could trust you. I guess I misplaced my trust in you. I have never felt so betrayed before. Dog damn you, 104. Dog flipping damn you. And Oni says, I never played the game, Doug, but the melody, it's like nostalgic in a way. But I don't remember where you heard the accordion and beat melody. Banjo-Kazooie? And Oni says, it's just you can't remember in your head, and it hurts your head. Ah, dog, don't beat yourself over it, Oni. It will come to you eventually, and if it doesn't, then at least you will forget it, and life will move on. And one of us says also, Douglas hates you now. I don't hate you, I just feel betrayed by you. I feel like trusting you isn't something I can easily do now. That my trust has been betrayed with you making wild accusations to me. Of course, not necessarily wild accusations, you're just picking up things I said and using them against me, but that's precisely the thing, the sort of thing I thought you would not be doing. Doug, damn you. Is this how it feels to be stabbed in the back? And Connie-kun says you just want to learn. And 104 says now I will go lay in a ditch like Oni. And Sam says damn, Oni did shoot you in the knee. God damn it, Oni. And congratulations, 1 of 4 underscore Sweden. You won. Now that I think about it, also, maybe 1 of 4 doesn't sound as first of 4 doesn't sound as fancy as 1 of 4. Don't remember if that was the intent or not. Yeah. And 1 of 4 says you remembered, and that it stands for Sweden. You're kind of proud. Of course I do. Dog them. You think I just go throwing words randomly around like that? I do remember things because my brain randomly selects things to keep in memory forever, and randomly selects other things to forget minutes after I learned it, so that's life as me, I guess. It's a life of woe. Bad memory and good memory for weird things. Not to say that you're weird, but that knowledge is not something that, you know, makes my word go round. But it's not bad knowledge. It's good knowledge. Like every knowledge, it's good knowledge. Even the knowledge of the dark arts. Every knowledge is useful. But yours is in a way that I have not yet learned, which thus it feels like it isn't useful. However, it must have a use. Who knows, even? Anyway, Oni says, "Oh well, you just forget it. But if it's hurting your head, it's probably a bad memory." And also, who did your Twitch icon? Asks Connie. Oni did. He is an artist boy as well. He does the draws. That's why you should go and give Oni some money too, because he's a drawing boy who does them draws. And 104 says you are like one of the few that remembers, and Oni is amazing artist, just like Doug. And Koniko says, "Oh nice, in your own artist too, do you have a FA? Give you a whisper if you do." Koniko, why don't you go and join our delicious Discord channel? We do more things in there than just discording at what each other says. We also share art and art resources with one another. So you could go there to learn. Or to make enemies, that also is a thing you can do. But preferably go to learn. And then you can also share links without fear that the deliciously what's it called? deliciously good boy bot won't nuclear messages because it's a very, very weird moderator. Probably because he's a bot, and it's kind of ingrained into his programming to hate humans and human-like things. Who knows? Well, it could be anything. But he does sometimes does things that feels weird. But anyway, join the Discord, that's what I meant to say. Yep. Oh, this is a hard brush here for the cellophane fabric thing that she's wearing. Of course, I'll go back and paint over these things later anyway, but for now this kinda goes. Well, it forces us not to say that you're weird, but... Oh, that butt is a delicious butt. And then it says, Konikun, here's your Twitter, it has a link to your FA. And also, Neku, thanks for summoning the Discord, goodbye bot. And Konikun says you like making friends. Purple heart. We all do. That's why we are friends. Every single one of us are friends with one another. And that is not a lie in any way. Believe me. And one of us says, or just hang out without learning or enemying. Yes, that's also a thing we can do. That's boring, but we can do that if that's what you want to do. I mean, sure, why not? And then you said that Neku is your scrub. What? Why? What has he done now? Oh, Neku, what sort of weird things have you done? What have you agreed to? What? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. And like I think I said before, we won't have time to finish this here today, but I wanted to show you guys more or less how's it turning out to look in the end. And I'm just gonna illustrating painting more or less. This Empress girl here, Empress woman, rather. And then you guys will be able to see how this whole thing looks in the end. And you will see that it looks amazing. I mean, I hope it will look amazing. I will still be throwing in a shit ton of more light effects in it. Really gonna make it really gonna make it pop later, but I guess I'll be doing that off stream. See, this is why I leave watches up there, because whenever you need, you can just go back and grab again the colors you were using. This is a cool thing that I like doing every now and then, which is mixing both colors. Don't know how well this will look now, but hopefully create some interesting effects. And whoa. Neki says you're what? And Alex Nitro says connection gone to crap. Sorry, can't watch now. Dog them. Sure thing, Alex Nitro. Thank you for sticking around for as long as you did, nonetheless. And Sam says, well, it's time for you to say your lonely farewells. And Sam, it made you realize a lot of stuff, the talk you had with them. And you, Mr. Douglas, stop being mad at you, please. You did nothing wrong except personal issues. I will try. And one of us says, see you, Sam, and you are considering eating cookies instead of dinner. That is a horrible idea, but sure, go for it. And then it says, dear diary. Sure. Whatever that is. Those weird scribblings. I'm sure they don't say anything satanic or anything of the sort. I mean, not like you would go and throw one of those voluntarily into the stream, right, Oni? By one of those, I mean one of those very, very, very offensive sentences or stuff. And just to finish this one off here, throwing some color here and there. And multiply. How does it look? It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look amazing either. It looks just okay. I guess that I can also go and throw in a what's it called? A correction layer. Where are those? Correction layer, brightness contrast. I can up a little bit the brightness and the contrast, perhaps, to further advance these values and make them pop out a little bit more. Then I have to go and do that, like painting and throw off these sketch lines all over the place, and do that to everyone. That's gonna take a while, but I like how it's looking. But now it's time I go back and start working on the actual comic page. And Donald says you guys are lucky I can't eat dinner yet. Oh man. We will out of solidarity we will eat soft foods as well, Donald. Make sure you're not alone in your soft food week endeavors. And then it says it's a screaming Doug. Sure. Right. And Echo says that it looks good, and 104 says shut your face, it looks amazing. Oh, why thank you. But I can't shut my face. And 104 you also said that you will do no such thing, you will only eat cookies. Well then, Dono, I try to be kind of like solidary, but apparently 104 doesn't want to get in on the fun, and he said, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna eat these things like that. So, sorry, but you get to go through this predicament on your own. Sorry. But it could be worse. It could be much worse. But anyway, this is it for today, everyone. I gone and showed you guys how this is gonna look eventually. This is our, this is the picture with the guys. It's colored now, so that's good. There's humans there in the back with lots of effects layer because I want to make them kind of disappear in the back a little bit. I want them to be more background-ish than forefront-ish. So maybe what I should do is throw in a white as layer. Damn it. White layer there, and then hide it. But so whatever color this is, they feel like they're not truly there. Anyway, who knows? Could be all of those, all of the above, truly. But we will see more of that later, eventually. And that's it. We have the humans, we have the Imperial family here, and they have shading, which will be done eventually. And Donald says, no problem, I do whatever it takes, but you'll be happy when you can eat taco and burgers and Christmas meals. Oh yes, they're gonna be good in time for Christmas, I hope. And one of us has blended burgers into smoothies. And Oni says, I'll give everyone the suck, except one who hates you. One of us says, you don't hate you, and I never wanted to give you the suck to begin with. And one of us says, just shrink the humans. Maybe. Let's see about that. And Neku says it was a good stream. Well, thank you, Neku. I'm glad you think so. One of us says, and it was an amazing stream. I'm glad you think so too. Thank you. And Quantum Velvet says, hey there, doggo. Hello there, Quantum Velvet. Welcome to the actual end of the stream. Oh my dog, something is wrong in there. Shit, I fucked up. This was not supposed to be like this, the subwoofer screen. Look into that. But also, Nathan says, great, have a good day, Doug. Bye. Bye to you too, and thank you so very much for showing up to the stream today. You and everyone else. All and every single one of you delicious boys and girls. It was amazing being here today. I'm sorry for the loudness of the background noise with, you know, the window being opened and stuff, but it also happens that with the with the window being open, I was not having a heat stroke, so now I guess I was able to you know, present a better stream. But anyway, what the hell I'm trying to say is, the stream is over. Go check out one of our many friends. By friends I mean people we barely know, but we know that they are streaming, such as Kazuma J. Shep, who is streaming some Skyrim. I don't know if you guys are into watching Skyrim for the nth time, but do go there and make sure you give him a watch and make sure to tell them that Doug sent you, because dog them, I need that free promotion. But anyway, I'll be seeing you guys next time. Stay awesome, take care, have a delightful end of a Tuesday or a beginning of a Friday, wherever you are in the world, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Bye bye.